2024 is coming to an end, and what better time than now to look back at the stadiums I've been to over the past year. They all range from Premiership to League 2 in this video. If I get enough likes, I might do a non-league video at some point. But let's start with Carrow Road, Norwich City. Capacity 27,606 and first opened in 1935, but a lot of the stands now range from 1970s to 2000s. Has no statue, but has a few images of players from the past and present on the walls. I'd say it's very innovative with ideas such as the TV that rotates, and also the away partitions. They can move depending on how many visit. I have to say, if you're hoping for a Delia recipe in the cafeteria sections, then you'll probably be disappointed. They're from all sorts of companies, such as Pucker and Piglets, though I have to say they're all on high standards, so you won't find a really shoddy pie here. They're really, really nice. I recommend the gourmet steak and ale pie, personally, but everyone loves the sausage roll. I have one gripes with the place, though, so I'm not all biased. The stadium tour, in my opinion, though it does get you to the dugout and the changing rooms, and also the trophy cabinet. Yes, we do have trophies. I do think it was a bit long-winded, and for instance, we sat in the south stand for about 30 minutes while the guide was talking about the history of the club, while a big old fan, a really large fan, was making a lot of noise and was hard to hear over it. And unfortunately, there were a load of children in the group that were very restless after that. So I'll give Carrow Road at least a 9 out of 10. Though I do sit in the Upper Barclay, and I find at times there is a leaky roof, and occasionally the sun shines right in your eyes. I wouldn't trade my place for anyone, so pretty decent place. Anfield, Liverpool, 61,276 capacity. 1884 it opened, though for a few years, from between 1884 and 1892, it was the home of Everton. I was here in January to see an FA Cup defeat, 5-2 defeat against Liverpool, and it was pretty good experience. I mean, it's probably the largest stadium I've been to. The traffic was awful to get in and out of Liverpool. It took like an hour to there and out of it. There were like banners greeting you in, saying this is Liverpool and that sort of thing. I was in the Anfield Road stand, which was the lower tier of it. And though it was the lower tier, it was a bit of a climb to the top of the tier where my seat was. The food, though, was okay. Though there was like several pies, and I think it was like 4 to 5 of them. And I tried at least 2, the steak and ale and the meat and potato. I thought they were a bit small and stodgy, and they were £5 each. So yeah, I didn't try the scouse pie, and if I ever come back to Anfield. I want to try that. I thought the fans were only loud before the kickoff when they were singing their anthem. And during whenever they scored and near the end of the game. Otherwise, they were pretty quiet, and I thought Norwich fans were noisier, at least where I was standing. I thought it was a good visit, but maybe next time I will explore a little bit more thoroughly. Also, I have to say, the staff are really friendly. There was one young lad who was very chatty to me, so that was nice. I'd give this place, I think about an 8 out of 10 maybe. I will probably score it higher if I explore more and got my pin badge, but that's for another time. The Bet365 Stadium, formerly the Britannia Stadium, home to Stoke City, has a capacity of 30,089. It was opened in 1997. I visited twice to this place. Firstly, I was in May during the off season. Unfortunately, the shop was being renovated, so it was pretty empty at that point. I did visit at least one of two statues, and I saw the bust. So I've seen the Gordon Banks statue, but I missed out, unfortunately, on the Stanley Matthews one. I went again in October. Unfortunately, at that point, we discovered that the coaches were having a lot of problems because they made a lot of changes to away fans. So the coaches once parked right in front of the stadium and now have to park quite a distance away from the ground. Unfortunately for me, I was in a disabled bus, and which means they needed to be a lot closer. So we had disabled passengers, and they were pretty much messing our coach around, and we had to park towards the stadium, but they kind of messed them about. In the end, they had to park the coach back far away, and when it came time to picking us up again, it took forever because the coaches weren't allowed to leave until much later on, which was kind of soured my experience, really, because I thought it was a very modern stadium. Also, I got funneled in to this one corner, so I couldn't do much exploring once I got off the coach, sadly. I would love to actually get the badge, but I ended up buying it online, which cost me a lot more than it did in person. The food selection was okay. I don't think it was great what I had. I had a meat and potato pie. I thought it was a rather bland pie. I didn't thought it was that great. The ground was nice. I thought they had these nice TVs that, they was double-sided, basically. The atmosphere, I thought, was okay. It wasn't amazing. It was a bit patchy on how many people went. There's an awful lot of empty seats around. But I wouldn't, the whole issue with the coach, I'd say, sad my experience. So I'm going to say probably about 7 out of 10 for this place. Yes, it's okay. Not great, though. Nice modern stadium, though. Vale Park, Port Vale. A capacity of 15,695. Was opened in 1950, a bit like Cambridge in my opinion, which I will go into later. It was one of those really quirky grounds, I guess. We didn't stay too long for this one. We just literally popped in from the car park. I got out and had a look around one corner and got back in and left again, really. The place was closed because it was a Sunday and it was off season. I thought it was interesting. I obviously didn't get that much of a look, but it has that old-fashioned look to about it from like the 1950s. The shop looked nice, had nice imagery around it. Looked interesting. We'll have to try again and check it out whenever I get the chance in the future. I probably won't score this one until I get the chance of actually watching a game there. The Racecourse ground, Wrexham, capacity 13,341. First opened in 1807, but in 1864 for football, so it was open for other things before that. I went in May during the off season. It was closed, and there was stuff happening with the pitch at the time. There were a lot of tourists around, and I thought the stadium looked like a UFO and a building had a baby, basically. Had that sort of modern look, but with some older elements to it. I loved the floodlights. They were very interesting to look at. Looked like something coming out of the ground. The turf, which was the hotel or pub, whatever it is, was being refurbished. That was right next to the ground, and once had that view over the pitch, but no longer. Has a lot of murals and things about Ryan Reynolds, the owner, and all that. He had a image on the wall. There's a lovely bench there, a red one with the Welsh dragon on it. I would not recommend the little coffee place that they had out there. My parents had a drink there, had one sip and threw away. They did not like it. I went to get to the other side. You have to cross the campus, which is next door, like I think it was a college campus, I can't remember. And yeah, I felt like I was intruding, but I just followed the tourists to the other side, and there was the shop and a preview of what it would be like with what the seats would be like when they renovate this one stand. So they're going to expand it to a little bit bigger. I don't know what size, sorry. But there's images on the wall of what it would be like in the future. The shop is a little cozy one. Yeah, pretty nice. I obviously haven't been there to watch a game, so I'll give this, I'd say at least about a 6 out of 10 maybe. Might make it better if I actually go for a game in the future, maybe. Sixfields Stadium, Northampton. A capacity of 7,798. First opened in 1994. But one stand is actually still half finished. So it's not. It's been like that for about nearly a decade now. And yeah, it's not good, guys. I thought this was probably the worst stadium I've been to. I mean, one stand looked really nice, but I think where I was sitting, the view was awful because I was literally right behind the goal, and all I could see was net. So I think you could probably have a better view from the surrounding hills that are just around the ground. I thought the food was okay. It was absolutely amazing or anything. I thought the kitchen was a bit meh to me. It was a very small one. The toilets were awful, by the way. This is the worst toilets I've been to. It was just so dirty and disgusting, and nah, not very nice. Uh, there were because this was just a friendly. There wasn't that many people there attending. I mean, Norwich fans attended quite well. There was more of us than them, but yeah, it's not my stadium. I say about a 4 out of 10. I say not great, guys. I mean, it would probably better if there was a bigger crowd, but yeah, didn't like this one too much. But I got my little badge from their little shop, so I'm happy. Swansea.com Stadium, home to Swansea Football Club and also Ospreys Rugby Club. It was formerly the Liberty Stadium, home to 21,028. It opened in 2005, so fairly modern. I thought it looked better on the inside than it did on the outside, though, personally. There was a beauty parlour which had a business at part of the stadium, which made it a bit weird. I've never seen that sort of thing before. I thought the club shop was pretty decent. Had one statue outside in this little garden section. I thought the staff were very friendly and funny, very funny, and it made loads of jokes. I thought the pie was probably the best one I had. I had a Welsh minced beef and onion pie, and oh my word, guys, that was probably the best one I've ever had so far. The toilets were okay, but I'd say the hand dryers looked a bit rusty and a bit, not very nice looking. The attendance was very poor though. There were just not that many people. There was a lot of empty seats. One corner was probably the noisiest corner. Everywhere else, very empty, quiet. And there was like one person having a fight with another Swansea fan for some reason near us. So, yeah. Screen showed English and Welsh and sign language, which I thought was nice. They also had a lot of welcome to Wales when you entered around the cafeteria area, and it was very touristy looking. I thought that was nice too. I'd probably say this is probably, I'd say about a 7 out of 10 maybe. It could have been better if there were more people there, and I think if they actually sorted out that hot hand dryer thing, because that was just ugly and awful. But yes, I'd probably rate the pie though a good 9 out of 10 alone. Portman Road, Ipswich. Capacity 30,311. First opened in 1884. I visited this place in October just to check it out. I never will ever go to watch a game here. No way. This is my enemy ground. So the closest of me setting foot into this place was the shop, and yeah, I only was there for like a couple of minutes and then I was out. Yeah, I thought it was okay. It looked very blue. So I couldn't go all the way around due to a large football court which was next to it. Also, they loved their history because they got imagery and information of their past all over one stand. And also they got 3 statues outside, 2 of which are former England managers. Their best England managers. Yeah, they love to boast their history, and yeah, it's kind of an insult for us Norwich fans. So I give this place probably. Ooh, would I be generous? Probably not. I'll probably give it. Okay, I'll give you about a 7 out of 10. Okay, though you do like to boast about your club with banners on the bridge and everywhere, basically, and there are bins around the ground with the Ipswich logo and imagery on it. So even they think it's trash. Let's face it. But yeah, I'll give you a generous 7 out of 10. It's not too bad. Probably never will go there for a game though. Sorry, Ipswich fans. Cardiff City Stadium, home to Cardiff City. A capacity of 33,280. First opened in 2009. So this was a very modern and very large stadium with a lot of imagery of the past on the wall of players and just moments. I thought it was really nice. Very friendly fans. There was one statue there, which was nice to see. And the shop was fairly decent. The only problem with it, with this place, was the pie was burnt when I had it. So the pie I had was pretty much exactly the same as the Swansea one, but it was a bit burnt on the top. You could see the crust rather a bit too on the brown side, really brown. But other than that, I thought it was okay. The toilets, I'd say, is probably the best toilets I've been to that I can think of. It was a bit patchy on the attendance rise. I thought there was a lot of empty seats, but they did make a lot more noise than Swansea did. And I think, yeah, it's a little bit better on the attendance than Swansea. So that's another plus for you Cardiff fans. The advertising board was above the seats rather than like near the ground, near the pitch side. So that kind of made it a bit distracting because it was constantly flashing like red and all other colours behind me. So that was kind of distracting. But yeah, I kind of liked the stadium. I liked the fans. Yeah, really nice. Also, thank you very much, guys, for making my video of my experience. Up to nearly 900 now, which is crazy to me. Thank you very much. Also, it was very Welsh because they had Bread of Heaven singing, so that was nice. Very Welsh, but very friendly. Just a long journey there and back though, but at least it wasn't quite as long as the Swansea one. The Cladara Abbey Stadium, Cambridge. Capacity of 7,937. First opened in 1932. 9 years to build though. Yeah, I'd say this was one of those quirky ones because it was like 20 to 30 minutes to walk there from the train station. And it felt like I was walking through part of the countryside than the city, but it was a straightforward walk there once you get past the houses. And when we got out of the fields and dodged all the bikes, there was the ground. I'd say it was rather quirky. It had that fan park, car park, and a shop right near the road, and so that was good. But then I think, how the hell do I get into this place? And it turned out through a very narrow alleyway. So, a bit of a squeeze to get out from. But yeah, that was kind of a very weird, random thing. But once I got to the main stand, I thought there was like murals on of the past, like there was Dion Dublin's shirt painted on the wall, etc., etc. The toilets was just basically, it felt like a public toilet, and behind that was the cafeteria area, which they had a good selection of food, especially pies, and they handed me a an experimental pie that I went for that for some reason, and it was what was it, a sweet potato and coconut pie, and it turned out a bit spicy than I was expecting. It was it had a bit of a kick to it. So I was sitting in an area of benches, and that felt like I was sitting on a small children's seat, so very for tiny people, and yeah, that killed my legs a bit. But behind me there were like actual seats, so if I had known that, I'd probably sit in that rather than on the benches. Though I'd rather be in the stand behind the goal on my opposite side. I thought that was probably the loudest, noisiest fan base I've been to. I think that's where all the ultras were. But yeah, it was alright. It was a okay experience. I wouldn't rate it that highly though, because what I was sitting on, and but the pie was okay. The shop was okay. But I did get blinded a little bit by the sun. But you can't point fingers on them for that one. But yeah, I say this was about, I'll give it about a 6 out of 10, I think, for this one. The Hawthorns, West Bromwich Albion. Capacity 28,003. First opened in 1900. So the stands date 1970s to 2000s. Just sort of similar to Norwich, really. Lovely blue paint job on one stand. The other one was very modern brick. So yeah, it's a nice looking stadium. We were parked behind the stadium in an area of like housing, and to get to the stadium we had to walk up this steep slope into the back of the stadium. They allowed you to walk around the ground, which was pretty nice of the staff. So I was able to see the gates, the Jeff Astle gates, which were really lovely looking, and also the shop. There's also a statue out in front of it, and though I did miss out on the cemetery there, which is kind of interesting, because not many grounds have a fan-based cemetery there near their stadium, so that was interesting. Inside, I thought it was rather wet underfoot, because there was a storm at the time of my visit in November, and it was a bit slippery. I did slip a little bit, but yeah, managed to stay on my feet though, so I didn't fall over, thankfully. But yeah, so watch where you're stepping when it's wet, guys. It's it's a little bit dangerous. The food was okay, though I think their choices pretty much were all wrapped up. So I had a pucker pie that was it's still in its wrapper, which is a bit of a cheek, really. But yeah, I thought it was nice. The stadium seemed nice. The fans were very friendly. On the TV, there was sign language being included, which I thought, yeah, it's another nice idea. I like that. But I'll probably give this place... I'll give this place probably an 8 out of 10. I don't know. It's something about it. It's not quite as good as what I've experienced at my home ground. So yeah, still good though. Worth a visit. And finally, the Stadium of Light, Sunderland, for 49,000 capacity, and opened in 1997. What can I say about this place, guys? It's enormous, though very windy as well, because it felt like a wind tunnel all the way around it. I don't know. The place was built on top of an old colliery, so there was a lot of references to their coal mining heritage. And yeah, there was like that Davy lamp. You got some vents which have been pointed out. They of the old colliery there, so they're still there, which is interesting. And also there was a piece of their previous ground lying in the car park, which is pretty cool. Yeah, there was some nice gates. Basically, yeah, it's a nice stadium, a really impressive stadium. I say probably my favourite stadium to date. You go inside, you had to walk up so many stairs, but they had like some line on the wall saying like, I don't know, like they think it's all over, and then you go to the next tier and it's like, it is now, welcome to the stadium, basically. The cafeteria was nice. The food, again, was a bit like West Brom. They had their food in wrappers still. It was pretty much just a pucker pie. Yeah. And not the greatest, is it, really, compared to a few of the other places I've had. Toilets are okay. The view was breathtaking once I got into the to this top tier of the stadium. It was out. I thought I was having a bit of vertigo when I was looking down. It's huge. It was, the music was loud. It was all Christmas music at the time. So it was nice. But they also had a bit of a light show at the end, and when they won, of course. And I thought the fans were brilliant. They were noisy. Also, I think it was like 40,000 at the time. So yeah, pretty good. Yeah, I felt like I was listening to the sea, basically rolling in. It was that loud. And I think the staff were friendly, but I could not understand their accent. But yeah, this is probably my favourite place of 2024. I think I'll give it about a 9 out of 10. So it's pretty good. But that, guys, concludes my reviews. Hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's probably a bit of a long one, but thank you, guys. Please click that thumbs up button, click that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.